Welcome back to the Omaha Beef Coaches Show.
We're going to discuss with him everything going on here.
We want to set the standard. We want to give our fans the best thing possible that we can.
God took me from the Carolina Cobras to the New York Yankees in about 2 days. I just love Omaha.
We're going to be here every Monday night, 6 o'clock, Goose's downtown Papillion.
Let's get this started now.
Welcome to Goose's Bar and Grill, downtown Papillion. It's the Omaha Beef Coaches Show, week number 8. Jason Unger joined by Todd Walkenhorst, my good friend Todd Walkenhorst on my right. DJ K DuB, of course, producing the show as he always does every Monday night. Man, it's hard to believe week 8 already.
Victory Monday.
And Victory Monday.
How about that, right?
We've been waiting more than a month.
Been a while. More than a month. It's been like 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. Last time they won was June. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, it feels even longer, but the Beef were able to.
Do you remember? It reminds me of a quote.
Yeah.
Do you remember Danny Nee?
Oh, of course.
I mean, Husker head coach. He had some of the best quotes.
Oh man, it was.
And
fun.
one of his best, and it reminds me of this week. It's like getting a 50-pound gorilla off your back.
Yeah.
50-pound gorilla. Let that sink in.
Yeah, and I mean, you could.
That's a huge gorilla, right?
Gorilla, man.
50 pounds, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you could just kind of feel before the game at the slaughterhouse, you could just kind of feel a sense of urgency. I mean, obviously there's been a sense of urgency after each loss, but I felt coming home in front of the home crowd, especially with the defense taking the field and then getting that score on the first play of the game. You mentioned that weight off your back. You could kind of see that they just were able to play a lot more free and loose after, getting that early break.
You could feel they went into it. I think the attitude was there that they just really went in and said, no more bull.
Right.
Keep this clean. No pun intended, playing the Bulls.
Right.
But,
right.
It's just like, we're done with this, right?
Yeah.
It's time to go play beef football. And it started from the get-go. I mean, it really set the tone. And then it felt familiar again, right? The slaughterhouse was alive. Everybody kind of rose up to the occasion. The defense was, setting the tone. I was going to look. Actually, I brought this up before. Time of possession. I think there's
probably
a good chance the defense
even.
Was still out there, but you wouldn't have known it. Oh, actually, hey, Omaha did win that. No, Dallas did.
But it wasn't by a wide margin.
It wasn't by a lot, but when you're playing defense like that, it doesn't affect you quite as much, right?
Yeah.
When the defense is out there, the defense is making plays and scoring points on top of it. 2 safeties and a touchdown. Another touchdown that probably should have counted, it sounds like.
Yeah.
But anyways, either way, they're making their presence known. And as you said, they set the tone from the get-go. And, that's one of the intangibles, in this sport. I mean, any level, right? You can look at the stats, whatever, but, Omaha could have that, stop and fumble and touchdown.
Right.
If that happens in the fourth quarter, that'd been nice, right?
Sure.
When it happens on the first possession, 2 plays in,
man, oh man,
that is a bigger play. It sets a tone. It sets an expectation. I think you saw everybody kind of rally up behind and go, okay, this is how we're going to play tonight.
Right. You get that first score, you go up 7-0, and then, the defensive line, I want to talk a little bit about them because, preseason, you and I had both heard, this is a really talented defensive line. We're going to really, be physical this year. We're going to get after the quarterback. And I mean, we saw brief glimpses occasionally in the first handful of games, but I thought Saturday for sure was the best that defensive line has played. And obviously Brandon Munoz had a big hand in that, getting that first safety, putting them up 9-0. And then he got another safety later in the game. But I mean, they just really, to me, seemed like they played freer and just felt like they could really get after the quarterback.
I mean, you talk about the defensive line, let's use stats. Stats tend to not lie. 4 sacks for Omaha in the first 5 games.
Not good.
4 sacks on Saturday night.
Right.
So,
right.
So you sensed it and then you saw it.
Right.
That is what happened. They turned it up. Was it personnel? Was it matchups? Was it just, again, the energy, whatever? And I think we talked about that during the broadcast. It just felt like, and again, it doesn't hurt when the second play of the game, you make the play that they did, but it just felt like that defense had an extra step the entire night, right?
Yeah, they did. I mean, it just felt like there was more energy. And I want to give a quick shout out to Beef fans because, I mean, you're 0-5 going into the game, but yet the energy in the arena was still there. And I mean, they were there from the get-go. And like you said, it helps when you score, so early on defense. But after that, the crowd was involved. Obviously, the players fed off of that, and that was another huge factor in the game.
Well, and then, let's talk about the offense.
Yeah.
The offense played better, right? So, the defense can play as good as they want to, but if the offense is out there and one, not moving the ball, or 2, giving the ball back to the opponent, it kind of negates what the defense is doing. And that's what we've seen throughout the year. Nothing against, the offense, but, defense has played pretty decent, but then spent a lot of time on the field because they kept getting put back out. How many times have we seen them out there after a drive that wasn't converted or a turnover in bad field position too? I mean, with their backs against the goal line.
Right.
No turnovers for Omaha in this game, I believe.
One interception.
There's one.
Yeah.
So, they won the turnover battle for the first time this season. And it's not a complicated game, right? Take care of the ball, win the turnover battle, complete drives, and most likely you're going to win. They did all those things that you would game plan and want to accomplish. They checked all the boxes, and it showed on the scoreboard when it all was said and done. And of course, when your defense is scoring points, 11 points attributed to the defense, and not just that, a safety is obviously good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you get the points in the ball.
Right. And then your offense gets to come back.
And the offense gets to come back out. So that's the expectation. That's what we've seen for so long from most of these Omaha teams. And, it felt familiar. I think fans rose up to the occasion. And once the players, that's the thing, you did not feel that confidence all year long.
Mm-mm.
And once you got about 5-10 minutes of this game,
you
felt like they were comfortable, especially at home, especially with the fans behind them, and they really rose up to the occasion. And most importantly, as we said again, they did not, you can take a couple steps forward, if you take a step back and give it back to them. They didn't, hurt themselves.
Yeah.
And then give possessions back and make a bunch of mistakes, a bunch of turnovers or penalties or anything like that. So, there's still a couple things. Red zone, I know, Coach wants to work on that. That's out there. So there's some situations. Probably didn't get the best looks for that, but Omaha needed a game like this. And when you get a game that you think you should win, we said that before. I mean, there's no disrespect to Dallas. Dallas had 2 wins and Omaha had 0. So, on paper, you feel like you're a better team, but guess what? Dallas was a better team because they had 2 wins.
Yeah, you still have to play the game.
And, you may think you should win the game, and you may think you're a better team, but you got to go out and do it. And they did it, and I think they did it in the fashion that, people who are familiar with the sport, anybody who's just watching the records may not have thought that was coming. But if you're familiar with the sport, this is a game that you thought Omaha should be playing.
Right. And the first time all season they've scored over 50 points a game, and you and I talked many times. I mean, we knew at some point, if you're going to start winning games, the offense is going to have to put points on the board.
Well, and we always talk about the formula is kind of simple, right? Try to give up less than 20, score over 40. If you do either of those things, you're going to win a lot of games.
Your chances are.
If you do both of those things, your chances are a lot better.
A lot better.
And they accomplished both of those.
Yeah. Let's talk about Gio Sanders, the quarterback, the veteran quarterback.
Hats off.
Yeah, for the Beef, man. What a game. 10 completions, 6 of them going for scores. I mean, 6 touchdowns on 10 completions over 200 yards. I mean, the big play in the passing game was just something we have not seen.
We had not seen
all
that
season.
And, hats off to him. He's a veteran. So we knew he could do it. We've seen it, unfortunately, on the other side of the ball a few times. We've seen him with Idaho last year, whatever they were called in Dodge City, whether it's Southwest Kansas, Dodge City. I mean, we've seen him around, and he's always been exciting and can move the ball around. He's an athlete. He makes plays.
Yeah.
We knew he could do it. He did that. And like you said, at least, there's 3 long passes. One of them he put in a double coverage. I mean, he dropped a dime, right?
Oh, yeah. It was a great throw.
So it was a great play. And the hats off to him, I said, was because of, what had happened the week before. He went 1 for 2, an interception, pick 6, played 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It'd be very easy. I mean, what's the first thing they tell you? Just forget about it, right?
Right.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done.
He moved forward and he showed that he's a veteran and what he's capable of. And hats off to him. That's a big reason why Omaha's got their first win.
Yeah. And DJ K DuB and I talked about it at halftime. A big reason for the success in the passing game starts up front. And for really the first time in a long time, maybe since the home opener, they had 3 guys, that were actually accustomed to playing those spots. And I mean, it made a big difference because Sanders had some time back there. The snaps were on time. The timing of the offense was better. And I mean, that goes a long ways, leading to those big plays in the passing game.
Well, I mean, like you said, 227 or 228 yards, or no, how many total yards did Omaha have? It looks like 252.
252. Yeah.
I mean, they're under 200 a game for the year,
right,
which is obviously not good at indoor football. So, they got the offense moving. They found it. Hats off to David Ross. Goes back to running back. I'll go out on a limb. He's a better running back than an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
He was serviceable, but that's where he belongs, right?
I think he would agree with that.
I think there's some debate in the room, but at least more comfortable, right? But, I mean, those are the things you overlook, all the things that Omaha's had to try to piece together. There's been some adversity, but, it's stories like that you see, the team players and guys that are unselfish do stuff like that, end up paying off, and he did not get his touchdown. You were lobbying for him hard.
I really was lobbying.
I think he lobbied for himself once near the goal line and got going a little early. I think he's going to get it, but again, another good performance there. The numbers on the ground probably weren't quite where they wanted them. I think they'd like to establish a little more running game, but you also tend to take what they give you.
Sure.
And obviously they were, finding some success in the air, and they went with that as well.
Yeah, and the defense, Richard for Dallas, we talked about him during the broadcast, the running back, entered the game averaging almost 50 yards rushing a game. And, he's held to 16 yards on 9 carries. So, I mean, that's a testament to the defensive line. Jalen Johnson at linebacker obviously played a really good game.
I mean, we could go and debate how good Dallas was, I suppose. You could say who they're playing or whatever. But bottom line, this was a team that's scoring over 50 points a game.
Right.
I mean, whether they're a well-rounded team or not, we could discuss that later. This isn't the Dallas show, so I won't. But bottom line, they were scoring. They knew how to score points. And Omaha knew they had to take that away from them. They did early. Yeah. They really showed their presence up front. And I think that just set the tone and prevented, that 50-point score.
Yeah, so the Beef get on the board. Like I said, they put one in the left-hand side of the win-loss column. That's always good. You always want to have more on the left-hand side than the right-hand side. I learned that at a very young age.
When did you learn that?
Very young age.
Very young. That
very
is
young
good.
Age. Yeah. So 1-5, and when you look at the standings, Todd, it's still, not pretty. I mean, when you bring up the NAL standings, the Beef are still, near the bottom. And then you take a look at the top. I mean, we talked about this league being top heavy with some really good teams, at the top of the division. Hand it to Southwest Kansas. They won again last week.
Impressive.
Outlasting Salina.
And I don't know if you caught that game, but it was,
I got to see some highlights.
Whatever it was, they were down 14 at the half.
Right.
And outscored Salina 15-0 in the second half.
Yeah,
to win the game
0 points allowed in the second half. I mean, a well-coached, talented Salina offense, you hold them to 0 points, you win 27-26. So Southwest Kansas moves to 6-0. Now, I don't think a lot of people, I mean, obviously another team that's been around a long time, they have a good coach, they have talented players, but I don't think a lot of people thought that after, 6 games that they would be undefeated.
I don't
you
think
did.
so.
Yeah,
No,
right.
they were back when you used to bet on them. They were not a favorite.
Right.
But one thing that a lot of people that I know and respect that know this game talk about Gary Thomas and what a good coach he was, down there.
Sure.
And they're like, hey, watch, they may not be the most talented, but they got a good coach. And,
Right.
and that does mean something in these leagues.
Uh-huh.
And, from what we've seen, they've won a couple of close games.
Yep.
And it's things like coaching and situations, whatever. I mean, you don't just go in and win in Salina. We know that, right?
Right.
That's not an easy thing to
Not
do.
an easy thing to do.
Against Ron O'Neill. And Southwest Kansas, I'm very impressed with and happy for them because they're doing it the right way.
Mhm.
They've gone. As far as I know, the players seem to be pretty, adequately paid, or appropriately,
that's
as far
fair.
as I could tell, whatever.
That's fair.
They seem to be doing it the right way. Their fans have been very patient through the Southwest Kansas Storm, through the arena, whatever they played for a couple of years, back into the CIF, back to the Dodge City days. I mean, they've been through a lot down there. And, they were successful when Dodge City Law first came in. They've had some years in between, but they've built that back up. And, they're in great position right now. But you talk to the playoff standings. And, we've talked about how important all these games were. I believe it's 6 teams make the playoffs, right? Out of 9.
Right.
Well, Omaha gets that first win finally. There's 3 teams with 1 win. So now you're in that bottom 3 right now, and you're 1 game away from 6th place, which is Dallas. So you got the head-to-head
already beat,
right?
Right.
So you literally have one more step just to get in the playoff position now. So, we said Omaha probably need to win 4 games out of the last 6.
Right.
Is that or 4 of the last 5, I guess it is.
Yeah.
But you couldn't talk about winning 3 or 4 until you won one.
You got the first one. Right.
And they have the one now. So, it's on to Amarillo this week.
Uh-huh.
And, they are the team that's down there with them at 1-5. And you know what they always say? There's nothing like Amarillo week. Everybody always says that.
That's right.
Amarillo
Everyone
week.
says that?
Everybody says. You've been to DJ K DuB going to Amarillo?
No, he's holding down the fort.
Oh,
and heard that,
I got to
man.
do
You know what Amarillo?
show here.
You know what they got there?
Yeah, the steak.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Barbecue steak.
What
Oh,
is
my
that, a
goodness.
72-ounce.
See, he
I
knows
know.
all about it, man.
And George Strait. Amarillo by morning.
Really? Okay.
Damn right.
I'll let you do the country.
Yeah.
That's a little bit outside despite my.
Don't act like that was before your time, because I know you're old enough to know that song.
I did a little country DJing over on Froggy for a while. But
I
anyways,
think both of us have done that.
Yeah,
in the
we
past.
kind of ignored it or lost that in the mind. But
Right.
but yeah, Amarillo. I mean, that's a big game when you play them. Again, it comes down to winning the games that you should win, and then if Omaha plays like they did last week, I'll take that team against. I mean,
yeah,
they're still better. I'm not saying they're one of the best teams, but when you play that good, you obviously like your chances better. And there's a couple of games that Omaha's lost already. If they had played that well, they would have won.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the only other game of note across the league on Saturday, Sioux City gets past Pueblo 35-22. And, Sioux City's a team that you always have to talk about. You always have to keep in the back of your mind. We're going to be going there in a couple of weeks to Sioux City to play the Bandits. I mean, they're 4-2. It's just a team
and a lot of home games down the stretch. They start with a lot of road games, and they had a tough loss a couple of weeks ago that they probably could have won. So I mean, that's a team that easily could be 5-1 right now. The other loss that they had, they didn't even take Lorenzo Brown with me. He had a commitment; he couldn't make that game. So Sioux City is legitimate. I would never overlook them if you're Omaha, but if you're the rest of the league, Sioux City, obviously Southwest Kansas is putting up some quality wins. Got to respect Pueblo until they're not there.
They're kind of coming back down to earth a little bit, though. Maybe
they've had a loss. Lost 2 of the last 3?
I think they were 5-0. Maybe lost 2 in a row now. So
it's it is what you are, right? Or the record is what you is, or whatever they say.
It doesn't lie.
And one game at a time. So Amarillo, it's Amarillo week.
Yeah,
very exciting. One of my favorite weeks ever.
It's beautiful there this time of year. I mean,
it's a nice drive too.
We always
by the
like
way.
to say that.
I hear.
Oh man, not particularly looking forward to that, but nonetheless,
what do you got against Amarillo?
I don't have anything against Amarillo.
Okay.
I just have a lot against the 12, 13-hour drive.
Yeah. You could fly.
We could.
Yeah. Anyways.
We could. But so, yeah, Amarillo Saturday, Louisiana at home the next week. And then, of course, in 3 weeks, Sioux City. So you win the next 2, you're 3-5. You put yourself in a position to get closer to that 500 mark if you can go down to Sioux City and win a game. I mean, that's going to be a battle. I mean, especially if the Beef can take care of business the next 2 weeks. They end up in Sioux City, you get a win there, and then all of a sudden the playoffs are a little bit closer.
Just what the I-29 rivalry is all about, Omaha hopes that's a meaningful game. And but again, you got Amarillo coming up first,
Yeah, that's right.
You got to take care of them.
That's right. Amarillo by morning.
All right.
For
it's
sure.
The Coaches Show.
It is the Coaches Show. And
maybe we'll talk to the head coach. What do you think?
We're going to bring in Coach Adam Loftis. We're going to take a quick break. We are live at Goose's Bar and Grill, downtown Papillion. We're here every Monday night, 6 to 7. The players are here. The coaches are here. The fans are here. We'll be back with Coach Adam Loftis after this quick break. It's the Omaha Beef.
Omaha Beef Football. Prime dancers. Rump roasters. Slaughterhouse. Are you ready? DJ next one. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse where we run it. Yeah, we really want it. Beef Nation, got them shaking. Got a ring and we flaunt it. Prime chances be on it. I bet the competition's no opposition. We come to take and we done it. Ricky is the chief saying, let's go Beef. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse. Orange and Black about to win this. Defense stays on attack. You on our hit list. Like it, blocking and dumping, jumping out the gymnasium. You want to see the best meet us at the Beef Stadium. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Let's go Beef. Orange Kingdom. Slaughterhouse. Orange Kingdom. Prime dancers. Orange Kingdom. Let's roll, baby.
That's right. Before we turn it back over to Jason Unger and Todd Walkenhorst, we have a special offer on your screen there to Omaha Beef fans. Open a new checking account with Arbor Bank, and they'll deposit up to $150 in your new account. This ends at the end of the month. Let them know that you're reaching out because you love what you see with the Omaha Beef, and become a partner with one of our partners, Arbor Bank. Possibly get $150.
How do I get that? I'm in. $150. What do I gotta do?
Open a new account, man. Welcome back,
Open
boys.
it, close it. I'm good or what?
Well, I don't know. That's between you and the bank.
How long do I gotta keep it? Is it in lieu of a toaster? I mean, what? Give me the details.
The details are there at the bank. Go check them out, Arbor Bank. Our partner, greatly invaluable.
Man, it's good that DJ K DuB takes care of paying the bills for us. All we got to come on and talk football. So we appreciate that. We're back live at Goose's Bar and Grill, downtown Papillion. The reason we're here, I mean, it is the Omaha Beef Coaches Show, and we're happy to be joined by Coach Adam Loftis. And, Coach, we talked about it. This is week 8 of the Omaha Beef Coaches Show this year. And, man, it's been a while since we've been able to celebrate a win. So we appreciate you taking care of business, the big win on Saturday. I guess just start with your thoughts and kind of how you thought the game transpired. Maybe talk about that first play, the touchdown turned in by the defense. I mean, that had to kind of get the team going.
Yeah, so I think we had a good week of practice. Guys were just ready to play. It was good to be home again. That first play definitely did start the tone. Because one of the biggest things was just we got to start faster. We've been too slow, digging ourselves in a hole and stuff, so we wanted to start fast. That obviously, I mean, first play touchdown, I'll take that every time.
You had to exhale a little bit after that. I mean, all that this team has been through, you're playing at home, you're feeling good. I mean, even I got the sense pregame during warmups and just kind of the bounce and the body language from the guys. It just seemed kind of different. But for you, I mean, you just had to kind of exhale and say, okay, we're up 7-0. Did that change your thoughts as far as how you were going to attack them? Or did you kind of just want to stay with the game plan that you had? Or does a big play like that and jumping out early, does that change your thoughts as a coach at all?
No, stuck with the game plan pretty much
Right.
the whole time. We got a little sloppy there in the middle, but for the most part, I thought we did a pretty good job of staying even. Once you get up in some of those games, sometimes it's easy to let up or kind of exhale and relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Which we did a couple times against good teams. You will not be able to do that. But we were able to work on a bunch of things. But like I said, we stuck with the game plan. I wanted to stay aggressive on defense the whole night, which we did. And then same with offense. I wanted us, even though, find what's working, continue to do what's working, but then make sure we, take shots here and there, make sure we work play action, spread the ball around.
Right.
So I think three different guys scored, I think, on offense. So did a pretty good job moving it around.
We got Channel 7 up here. They're showing Bandits highlights. We can't even get Beef highlights on.
I know.
They're showing Bandits highlights because their field goal kicker nailed somebody in the head or something.
I saw that.
Didn't make the kick.
No.
I mean, it was so bad it hit him in the head, and the Bandits are on our station. What do you think of that, Coach?
Wasn't even looking at it.
Coach, not to oversimplify this, but, the way that game started, it just felt familiar again. I mean, that was beef football, right? It's about getting the attitude out there. Is it as simple as saying guys, just go out and play the game, let's just be us? Or how did that come about? And once you got there, it just looked right again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, guys were finally flying around.
And we've said that. It looked like they had an extra little giddy up in their step. I mean, they're swarming, especially on defense, right?
Yep. And so, I mean, we start off the game with a defensive touchdown. We come out again, get a stop again right away. So pretty much two quick successes for the defense. And those guys, once they start having success, get that extra bounce and start flying around. And then we were able to kind of rotate some guys in the secondary and rotate on the D-line to stay fresh the whole game. But it was that next play mentality. Like I said, we've been taking stuff one thing at a time, one practice at a time. And I thought the guys focused every play this week, especially on defense.
Big stops and scoring points on defense. We get 2 safeties and a touchdown. I mean, talk about how important that is to have the defense setting the tone. That's pretty impressive with, how much zone you play.
No comment. You're not going to get one out of me.
Setting the tone, though, obviously that's what defense has always been about. Setting the table for the offense. Defense was still on the field more than the offense, but when they're playing like that, they don't feel it as much.
Yeah, we were on I don't even look at the stats, but we might have been on the field a little more. But when the offense is scoring, defense is, getting stops. They didn't have a kicker, which did kind of play in it. They were going to go for it on every fourth down, no matter where in the
field. Does that change a lot on what you're doing?
Yeah.
Or you just know on fourth down, obviously they're going.
Yeah, you just know that every possession is going to be 4 downs no matter what. So that's it. You just expect them to, if it's 3rd and long, maybe to get half, so then they make 4th down more manageable. So that plays a little bit in some of the calls or, some of your thinking. But, I mean, we gave the offense short field a couple different times, which then helps them as well.
Yeah, talk about the play along the defensive line. I mean, we've been waiting for a breakout game from those guys. I mean, easily the best game Brandon's played all year. I mean, 6 tackles, 3 sacks, a couple of safeties. I think he batted down a ball at the line of scrimmage. I mean, he's kind of done that all year long. But talk about the impact that, and Jay Sean obviously had a good game as well. I mean, that entire group up front really just kind of set the tone the entire night.
Yeah, anytime the D-line can get pressure, and we shut the run down pretty good too. So forced them into passing, kept that quarterback on his heels. Then he had to make throws off his back foot, which then helps the secondary out. So, yeah, setting the tone and controlling that offensive line or controlling the line of scrimmage does wonders and stuff. And then the quarterback might be putting the ball up before he's ready to get rid of it.
were you doing anything differently up front? I mean, were you running any kind of, different schemes, stunts, anything like that? Or was it just a matter of your guys on your side beating their guys on their side?
The message for the defense this week was just be aggressive the whole game. And there's a reason we brought in who we brought in this year. And my pregame speech was basically no more talk. Like, people could talk all they want. We can say we're the best or say we're better than someone and all that stuff. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It is literally just play, guys. Like, I know they know the scheme. Just play. Just shut up and do it. And like I said, they started flying around and they were doing it, and they were still coaching each other up in the hallway, which was great. Every time we came off, we got a tablet set up so they could look at something if they wanted to. They had questions. They were coaching each other up. Like I said, I'm doing a little more having to watch offensive stuff, and they kind of took over. I'd say one or two things to them, and then they'd be watching. I'm like, all right, they got it.
And Todd and I talked during the broadcast. A lot of times when the games kind of get out of hand, you start to see a little chirping a little bit. And before the game, we saw, some guys talking back and forth. But credit to your guys, they did let their play do the talking, because I really didn't see anything, after plays of guys really chirping or, getting in each other's face. So, I mean, credit to you guys, especially in a game that, could kind of get that way when you're beating a team that bad. But I didn't really see any of that going on throughout the game.
No, both sides I thought did a pretty good job. There wasn't too much extracurricular anything going on. And then we always preach, look out for each other. So if you see a teammate in a bad situation, pull them out. Don't make it worse. But yeah, we were still helping each other up. They were partying on the ball, dabbing each other up after, a good play. And then it was next play.
Right.
Don't want to gloss over what Giovanni Sanders did in that game. That's a veteran, obviously. We know what happened a week ago with him. It'd be very easy to not be able to shake that off. But you come in and, he had a pretty good game, obviously. It was, 3 long touchdown passes, 1 into double coverage, which we're like, ooh, when they threw it. But, man, he threaded that needle, dropped a dime in there. Talk about his play.
It was a great bounce back week for Gio. He had a good week of practice. Like I said, we're starting to expand the playbook a little bit more and get a couple different looks. And he did a great job putting the ball where we could get it and not putting the ball in a bad spot. I know we had the 1 interception, but it was 4th down and long.
Right, that was like
at around midfield. So, if you throw a pick at the goal line, then it goes to the 5. So we just were able to flip the field. We talk about good misses. If you're going to miss a receiver, make sure, it's out of everyone's reach or no.
And we don't want to gloss over how difficult or how easy it would be to not be able to do that after the week he had. Going 1 for 2 the week before, coming in, not finishing that game, coming in. That's a professional right there.
Yeah, very much professional. Like I said, he had a great bounce back week. There was never any hanging his head or feeling sorry for himself. It was first practice of the week. His head was up. He's leading the team and getting the guys coached up with our game plan.
Obviously, there's more to like this week than the previous 5 weeks. What did you take from that you really liked, and where do you want to keep improving?
So guys finally showed, like I said, I know they could do it, and we've had the capability to do it. And guys were finally doing it. And we finally had a ball bounce our way, on that first one. So it's, hey, okay, we can get, a break to go our way. So that was great. Things I didn't like I said, we got sloppy there in the middle. We had too many penalties. Games like this, you can get away with that. Games coming up down the road, we will not. It's going to be a very small margin for error. So I know we only had 1 turnover, but against a good team, that's 1 too many. So it's just going to be cleaning up the small things, making sure we don't have empty possessions, flipping the field when we need to flip the field, and then just making sure we get the ball in the red zone. We can't have penalties that pop us back outside the 10, and then you have to try to earn that back. If you get the ball at the 5, let's just keep moving forward and score.
Yeah, Todd and I talked about that on the broadcast. If we could nitpick anything, it's kind of the struggles in the red zone. It's kind of been all year long, whether it's a penalty that moves you back 5 yards, maybe the inability. I think the biggest thing for me is just the inability to have a consistent running game where you can just kind of lean on David and that offensive line to say, hey, we're at the 5-yard line. We're not throwing it. We're getting in the heavy set. We're just going to pound. We just haven't quite seen that click this year. I'm sure I think it was 2 for 11, maybe on 3rd and 4th down conversions. Obviously, something that I'm sure is a focus for you going into this week, and then obviously for the rest of the year.
Yep. So red zone has been a struggle all year. We've known that one, or turning it over. We get down to the 5 and ended up turning it over, and then it's great to move the ball down there and march down the field. But then if you come away with nothing, it's kind of
demoralizing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it takes the wind out of your sails. So we got to make sure when we get in the red zone, we come away with points. I mean, at the very minimum, it's a field goal, but obviously we want a touchdown every single time. Kind of hard to replicate that in practice. Because, I mean, guys don't want to beat each other up completely, but we need to make sure we clean those things up. We're going to continue to get better on it. It's a focus. We're going to make sure we look at what plays have hurt us, other wrinkles we can put in, and then make sure we clean up that playbook for the red zone as well.
Right. Going through the video this week as a staff, I'm sure you have. What's the 1 or 2 points of emphasis that you want to work on? It's Amarillo week, right? As we get ready for Amarillo.
Yep. So like I said, cleaning up penalties, making sure we don't have turnovers, and then just making sure we don't have those lulls throughout the game. Some of them are going to naturally occur, but you got to make sure once 1 or 2 of those plays and you start to feel it slide, you got to make sure we bring the intensity back up and clean it up. Because, like I said, getting down to the 5 and then all of a sudden you're outside.
Because of penalty.
Well, because of a penalty or a bad play or a bad snap or something like that. Don't want to be taking steps backward. And then on defense, making sure, we talked about this, I think, the last week or 2, getting off the field when you can get off the field. So when you get it in 3rd and long, making sure you make sure 4th down is just as long, so they have to either kick it or their chances of converting go way down.
Are there any of those penalties you'd like to discuss any further? I mean, nobody's watching. I always offer that to all the coaches. It's just between you and me.
No, there's always the crew did really good. I thought. Hold on. They did pretty good this game. They kept. And we talked before the game about it potentially getting chippy.
No, it did. We saw that before the game. It looked like there's some talk and whatever. And not to say they are a worse team or whatever. That's a strategy we see, right? When you think you maybe go into a game you're shorthanded, you probably get under the skin a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we pulled our guys back, some of that pregame stuff, and then I talked to the officials. I was like, man, if it gets chippy right away, go ahead, call a couple right away, just so you set the tone and we don't have to worry about it.
Coach, congratulations. Win number 1. Showed a lot of improvement. You brought me a drink this week, so you're learning that too. Appreciate that. There's no easy wins. I mean, they don't come for free, so congratulations on that. That's it. Go get win number 2.
Yeah. Congratulations on the win, Coach. Get on the road, get a road win, come back, and we'll be back at the Slaughterhouse in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach Adam Loftis joining us each and every week. It's the Omaha Beef Coaches Show live at Goose's Bar and Grill. We're here every Monday from 6 to 7 o'clock. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the final segment. It's the Omaha Beef Coaches Show.
It's pretty simple. We change oil.
As a single parent, I come here because I trust them with my car care needs.
It's been very good, very fast. I've never had to wait.
They've never tried to upsell me, but at the same time, they have always given me options.
It's great customer service, very friendly staff, and it's really fast and easy to get in and out.
Stop by King's Fast Oil today. We change oil with a smile. I love these guys.
Ace Rent to Own. 4 ways to save. 1. Cash sales with our best price guarantee. 2. Up to 12 months, no interest. 3. Short-term leasing. And 4. Our best rent to own, low weekly rate.
Ace Rent to Own, where we make friends.
Hi, Sean here with Just Good Meat. And we know the holidays are filled with family and fun, and this year we've got your holiday meal covered. Farm fresh turkeys, $2.99 a pound. Smoked turkeys, $4.99 a pound. Old-fashioned dry cure hams, only $4.99 a pound. Try our delicious bone-in or boneless prime rib on sale now. Our bacon wrap fillets, only $7.25 each. Steak gift boxes, all on sale, perfect for anybody that's on your list this holiday season.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Just Good Meat.
Welcome back to the Omaha Beef Coaches Show. Jason Unger alongside Todd Walkenhorst, DJ K DuB, making sure we look good and sound good. We talked with Coach Adam Loftis, and we're happy to bring on another coach. It is the Omaha Beef Coaches Show, defensive specialist, Coach Martinez.
Is that what you are? What are you right now? You're a little specialized of everything right now, aren't you?
A little bit right now. I'm
all
on
the hats,
both sides of the ball, but
all three sides, right?
If you remember that, yes, I kind of take a lot of pride in my defensive ability to coach.
Yeah, we enjoy having you up. I mean, not a lot of people understand the structure of our broadcast, Todd and I.
There is
at the
none.
Slaughterhouse,
There's none.
which is very little structure. But Coach Martinez is up there to our right. We occasionally
have the crowd mic open. If
Yeah.
you heard in Colorado, I mean, you probably heard Coach. You know, he
A
was
few
right
times.
down the
A few
way,
times.
and we were up high by ourselves up there.
We
but,
were
hey,
quite
Coach,
up
you know, you've been doing this a long time, obviously. Just kind of talk about, you know, it's when you're successful, it's easy, right? You just keep doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
When you learn, what good coaches need to do is, you know, get better.
The one
And,
thing,
and when you have adversity, that's when you get tested. Talk about just finally getting from, you know, 0-5 to 1-5. That's a big deal, obviously. Talk about what it took to get there.
a lot of things. What it did take is, you know, my staff as well and everything that had in the front office to get this together. One of the biggest things is us as the coaching staff staying together and working in a positive mode with our ball players each and every day, teaching them how to go ahead and get over this item that we were being an O for. And it was new to me. Trust me on that. And what our athletes did, and I want to give them so much credit for, is taking the coaching, taking the instruction, taking what we're trying to put in front of them in practice to improve this and make sure they're developing good habits, not going to bad habits, not making sure they're being held accountable for everything they're doing. So that way, when Saturday night comes on, I mean, they're playing just like what we're practicing. And that's what we try to do with them to get over this, because you got to keep pushing, you got to keep grinding, you as an athlete, as a staff, everything, to get over this thing that we will get over. It's just going to take, like I said, one practice, one play, one first down at a time to do it. But what I did see, and I was on film, and it was exciting to me, and I was there in my room. I wish Todd knows how I am. I'm yelling at myself. I said, God dang it, that's so good. Because I'm so happy that they're getting, and what offensively and defensively, when you have good things happen to you, it's infectious. I mean, it just carries on to another person. So those things that has happened is the reason this thing is going to turn around.
You know, and I've been trying to explain it here. And if you've been around, not just this year, but a lot of years, I mean, I don't sugarcoat. You know, everybody says you might, but I mean, the team's been pretty decent, so for the most part. But, you know, I mean, 0-5, this was not a typical 0-5 team. We've been around a lot of teams. We've seen teams that are just bad, right?
Yes.
And when you're 0-5, yep, we're 0-5. That's what we are. That's never what I saw here with the players and the staff and everything. And there's a big deal when that's the case. Like you said, the coach or the players still take the instruction. They still want to play. They still think they're going to win. And, you know, that's the difference. I mean, and I think that's what we're seeing here.
Every game that we went into this year was an expectation, of course, to come out victorious. Things have happened, and this is the change of what we have in the locker room, the change of what we have in the front office, the change of what we had has moved forward on it, where it's expected, not expected, but they're just a new view of what we're trying to get accomplished on it than there was before. The team has come together offensively and defensively. You can see that just this. I mean, it happened a little bit last week.
Well, and talk about what you just said there. You're watching something on video that you really liked that you saw.
yeah.
Talk specifically what you saw.
One of the things that offensively, we're doing things that wasn't being done before. They're running. I don't want to give any of my people out there some things, but they're just doing a lot better of what they're doing. Defensively, they're just
defensively, the one thing I saw,
they're running to the ball.
They're running the ball.
They're running to the ball.
I had a chance to work with Ray Rhodes at one point in my career, and he always ran that pursuit drill, right? You know, every guy running that ball, you know, and obviously don't ever run defense with 25 guys, but that's what they'd run in the practice, right? And everybody ran. And it's just that mindset, right?
Yes, it is.
It's that pursuit.
Yes, it is. And you get that because it's you see something positive out of it. A defensive end right across the field running down makes a tackle on it because he's pursuing the
Its
ball.
attitude is
Yes.
infectious, right?
Yeah, that's what. Yes. Yeah. And the one thing that
and what's that mean to you as a coach? I mean, that's really what you're doing.
Oh,
I mean, the
my
rings are
gosh.
great and everything. You got the rings,
Yeah.
but when you again, if you're winning, it's easy, right?
well,
but when you got to teach and you see it reciprocate, that's different.
It's a lot of fun, Todd, because not just that, but the special teams themselves is getting that disease as well.
Right.
That
Yeah.
positive disease where they're doing something a little bit extra to
Mhm.
go ahead and get this W. So, yes, we did what we're supposed to do. Now we look forward to Amarillo and can't wait to get that going.
Nice.
Coach, sometimes, I mean, when you're 0-5, I mean, it feels like, here we go again. I mean, it just feels, I felt like there were some games where, there were some breaks that went against you. The ball wasn't bouncing your way. That first play on defense when CP3 falls on that fumble in the end zone, I mean, were you able, and I talked with Coach Loftis, to kind of exhale a little bit and say, okay, I mean, we got one to bounce our way. And sometimes when you have all of that adversity, that's all you need sometimes. It's just that one break to kind of go your way.
Totally agree, because that hadn't happened to
Right.
us in
Right.
5 games. It went the other way where we had to climb back out of this dungeon to start even getting something positive rolling. But with that, absolutely, and at home and Omaha, man, I competed against them for how many years, Todd?
Several.
I never really liked ever coming here because both games,
Just like we don't like going to Salina.
right
Now, right? It's the same thing. It
Our
really is.
crowd, our fans, our everything. You guys are just waiting to explode. And I want to keep giving you reasons just to explode because you cannot hear.
How hard is that
anything.
for a team when they're out there and they
No,
just can't hear
yeah.
themselves? And I've said this before, and my fans hate me before. I hate the cowbells because they're so freaking annoying, right?
Oh.
But if you're on the field on the other side of the ball, it's annoying to them too, right?
Oh, it's something special to me, and because I get out there and I'm covering my ear to hear a play call or
Yeah.
it's just, and I'm just glad we're getting that back to where it is because that's a home field advantage that I don't think anybody.
Right.
I'm going to say at any level, any arena league that has what we do have here in Omaha is with that home field advantage with our fans, no doubt.
And we haven't talked about it yet tonight, but I know you have a special affinity for special teams. And I
Yes.
know you coach special teams, and I know it's near and dear to your heart. And really, that entire game, I thought that the special teams were sound. I mean, very few mistakes in the kicking game. The kickoff coverage was good. I mean, talk a little bit about those guys.
On kickoff return, it's a want to do things. Blocking and tackling is a want to do it. If
Right.
you have an ability to do it, but if you get it done and they are doing what you ask at what their assignment does call for, it's positive. And they did that. On kickoff, let's give credit to my kicker, Chase
Mhm.
Contreras. He did a great job. He doesn't miss that other extra point. He might be up for Special Teams Player of the Year, but he's a special addition to us. But once again, for the kickoff team to run down there the way they have, I'll just say they have improved it by 10 yards of their coverage. By
Yeah.
the time, because of Contreras, by the way, because he's putting the ball deep in the end zone,
Right.
and giving our kickoff team time to
chance to get down there and
and
cover.
avoiding that.
Well, and
making
special teams
tackles.
in these leagues is difficult too when you have the turnover that you're having.
Yeah.
Putting that 8 guys on the field
Yes.
every time as well.
Yes, it is.
So,
But it's been great, and I'm just excited about what's going to happen the rest of the year.
what are you doing with the offense?
With what am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh,
Yeah. I know you're contributing over there too,
I'm
right?
assisting CJ Kane, my offensive coordinator, in all aspects of it, and the passing, the running game, and making sure that we do.
So you're in all 3 meetings.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and studying film on both sides of the ball. Now I know how Coach O'Neill felt when
Right.
he had to do it all them years.
You know,
Yes.
you do it because you have to. You do it because you love it.
I do love it. And,
You know.
and I'm just hope I don't bother Ricky on the other side of the wall because our offices are separate, but the wall.
Ricky's just happy to have somebody on the other side of the wall
Yeah,
half the
that's
time.
for
I'll be
sure.
honest,
I mean,
especially
I'm yelling, I'm going, yes, and I'm by myself doing it. So I know he thinks I'm freaking out or something.
As long
but
as you're watching football videos.
I'm watching football videos.
So-
I get a feeling if the cold tub needs ice, Coach Martinez is the first guy with the.
He'll
with the
take care of it.
buckets. You got it.
Take
You've
care
done
of it.
that. I'm sure you've done that before.
Oh, absolutely. But yes, I can't
Coach,
wait.
appreciate it again. Congratulations, not just Adam, everybody, every player, everything. It's not an easy deal. I mean, I've been in those situations before because once the dominoes start falling, momentum's tough to change sometimes. It's
Yes,
up
it
here, it's everything, right? It's physical, it's mental.
Absolutely.
So there's no easy wins, right?
No,
At
and
any level.
I got to give it to my athletes in that room because they have never, ever cashed it in, and they're just putting everything that we put in front of them, and now they're playing up to their capability.
Coach Martinez, always appreciate your time. We're going to come back, wrap it up. DJ K DuB, straight ahead.
Omaha Beef Football. Prime dancers. Rump roasters. Slaughterhouse. Are you ready? DJ next one. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse where we run it. Yeah, we really want it. Beef Nation got 'em shaking. Got a ring and we flaunt it. Prime chances be on it. I bet the competition's no opposition. We come to take and we done it. Ricky is the chief saying, let's go beef. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse. Orange and Black about to win this. Defense stays on attack. You on a hit list. Spiking, blocking, and dumping, jumping out the gymnasium. You want to see the best leaders at the Beef Stadium. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Let's go, Beef. Orange Kingdom. Slaughterhouse. Orange Kingdom. Prime dancers. Orange Kingdom.
Let's roll, baby.
Bar and Grill downtown Papillion, the final segment of the Omaha Beef Coaches Show, Week 8. Like I said, getting ready to wrap up the show. We always bring in DJ K DuB
Why do we
for
do
the
that?
last segment. He's the host of Primetime Beef Huddle every Thursday
I'll
night.
ask him what I ask every week. What do you got planned this week?
Well,
Nothing yet.
Hold
Nothing.
on,
It's
hold
only
on, hold on,
Monday.
hold on. I actually had
Oh, here we go.
guests planned for last week, but we had the NFL draft,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and we
right.
felt that was big. And of course,
It's really not the same fan base, I'll be honest with you.
okay, maybe not. So I know Johnson, Jalen Johnson, the linebacker, was one, along with
Nice.
also
That other
Lorenzo
guy. The
Thompson
other guy.
for the wide receiver. Both newer Omaha Beef
Mhm.
players who are contributing and making a difference. And for me, it's also just getting their word out to get to know them, but also
Yeah.
what has changed these past couple weeks that they could talk about because they weren't a part of previous experiences. So all they have is what's going on. And I think for the
Right.
Omaha Beef Nation, it's letting them know what's going on now and how it feels more than it is, let's talk about the past. We can't fix stuff that we can't change. That all we can do is move forward.
Speaking about how it feels, you're our how it feels guy. We bring you up during the game. I'm not kidding, because you're on the field, so you get a little more vibe than we do.
Mhm.
And we said it already a couple times, but it just felt right this week, right? You got a series into that game. It felt like things were back to normal. The defense did what the defense did, set the tone of that game early on, and then everybody responded to it, including not just the players and the coaches, but the fans and the entire venue.
Well, and the difference also felt, and I want to give a shout out to the fans to hopefully they don't feel any type of way, is the players stayed just focused with what was going on the field. Did they give away balls? Yes. But they really worried about building their bond to get closer as a team. And that's what the Omaha Beef needs to succeed, is they need to feel that camaraderie together. yes, a win is the amazing part, but the way that they did it as far as together, and like you guys have already talked about, the running the ball, but everybody just seemed like once someone did something great, they all flocked around it, and that just so contagious, so contagious.
Yeah, you always do a good job getting the crowd into a frenzy at the slaughterhouse. I mean, it helps when you score on the first defensive play of the game. I mean, that was pretty exciting. We get the sack, we get the fumble, CP3 falls on it in the end zone. I mean, it just felt like a long time since we were able to play from ahead. I mean, it just feels like we always dug ourselves such a hole early in the game, but it kind of changed this week. We were able to play from ahead, got the crowd involved, kept the crowd involved, and then they were able to pull away for the win.
I think in that first quarter, from the outside looking in, you really could feel that they just felt like they couldn't accomplish anything. They were going not fully through their runs when it comes to Dallas. They weren't committing to the actual throw and the catch. They would stop short, like they were afraid to get hit. Like, I hate to say it, but once that momentum from your defense is able to turn up and you could be dogs and not have this thing that, oh, we got to play soft. Like, yes, did we give up a touchdown? Yes, but TDG made a hell of a play to try to get the ball.
Yeah.
We knew what his goal was, and that's what Coach Loftis said to these players is, we can accept that mistake because you went all the way out for it, and we could tell that. But if you went to softly hit someone and hope that it did something and this and that, and they scored, that's a different story. But when they did give up that that touchdown, you could tell it was all in to try to get that pick six.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and you felt it. What do you got over here?
He's looking at something. He's deep
looking
in
at
thought.
those stats.
He's deep in thought.
I got some stats going here. Yeah.
DJ K DuB, host of Primetime Beef Huddle every Thursday night, 7 to 8 o'clock. Catch him this week. He has players. He has coaches. He's at the stadium on the couches. I have not been on the couch.
You have not been on the couch?
Not yet. I know you have.
Only a couple stains on the couch.
I joined.
Freak up. Ace Rentone, thank you very
Well,
much.
they didn't come with them. I'm not blaming Ace. I mean, I assume
Thank
they
you,
came
Ace
clean.
Rentone, for allowing us to have that as our
It's a nice
lounge.
setup. It's a great setup. You should go down there.
I have been on the show.
If I get invited back.
You can come Thursday if you want.
I might
Hang out.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to.
But also we have.
You can come Thursday because he hasn't planned a show yet.
No, I planned it.
You're in.
We also have
after the show. He'll be like,
after the show, right?
Hey dude, can you make it?
They can make it. What are you doing Thursday?
If you're not traveling the 12 or 13 hours like these gentlemen, don't worry. You can come hang out with us.
But you could do the 72-ounce challenge, you think?
No, man, I'm a big guy, but I don't think
You're
I could eat like that.
right?
No, man, I'm not vegetarian. I just don't go for those competitions. It just doesn't.
You're not you
wet,
savor. You
it
don't,
don't wet my whistle, as they say.
It's not a competition thing. I get it.
But make sure to come out and Herd at Sports. I start at 5:30, kickoff 6:30. Always a great atmosphere, especially with all the beef fans, the rump roasters, and those who come out and join us. We can't do what we do at Herd at as well, unless you're going 12 hours away like these guys. They said they got an extra seat. If you want, just go ahead and reach out to Todd.
I love Amarillo this time of year.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful.
Yeah,
this time
it's
of
in
year.
Texas.
Oh, okay.
West
Yeah,
Texas.
and
It's
if you're
nice.
not going
And-
to the game and you're not going to be at a Herd at with DJ K DuB,
what's your other
your other
alternative?
option is, to listen to you and
Yeah,
I on the
Country
broadcast.
106.5 and on the Bluffs Country app.
Yeah, you can hear us on the radio.
106.5. That's FM, folks.
That's FM.
That is
I mean, that's
radio.
stereo. We get you in both ears.
That's right.
You know, put
That's
on
right.
the headsets. It's a good time.
And if you can't get the signal on your radio, you can always check in on.
Everybody
the internet.
gets the signal. I mean, it's strong.
I mean, sooner or later you're
Don't be
going to
knocking
drive
the
out of
signal.
range. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is on the internet, all worldwide, as Todd and I like
Entire
to
world.
say on the broadcast. But
Yep.
we're going to wrap things up here. Goose's Bar and Grill, thank you to them for hosting us. They do a great job every Monday night. We're here 6 to 7 o'clock. Thank you to DJ K DuB, Todd Walkenhorst, my good friend, Coach Adam Loftis, Coach Martinez joining us tonight. We appreciate everyone who makes this show happen each and every week. And on that note, we're going to say goodbye from Goose's Bar and Grill in Papillion. And as always, we always say to end the show,
Go Beef.
Now push it.
It's the standard. We set the standard.